Hi, everyone. Yep, good day, everyone. So this is Julie from 1337 Ventures. And once again, I would like to welcome everyone who joined in this webinar sessions, okay, Innovating the Future of Insurance, aligning with the launch of FWD Startup Studio Accelerator Cohort 5, powered by FWD Insurance with the collaborations of 1337 Ventures. All right. So without further ado, we would like to invite our speaker of the day, Marc, Head of Incubation Hub for FWD Insurance. So Marc will be sharing with us the overview of FWD Malaysia strategic direction and plan, innovation culture within the group, and definitely the demand or the emerging trend in the insurance industry. So just a little bit intro of Marc. So Marc has significant innovation and transformation experience in supporting government, private sector, as well as international organizations at the highest level across Europe, Asia, Africa, and Middle East. So he is currently the head of incubation head at FWD Group, a pan-Asian insurer. And at the same time, he is also holding a role as a member of International Association of Facilitators. So definitely his skill set include corporate innovation, public policies, program management, communications, and investor relations. So, yep. So before that, throughout the session, if you have any questions, to avoid interruptions, so please feel free to drop it in the chat box, and we will be addressing at the end of the sessions. Okay. Yep. So passing to you, Marc.
Thanks, G.
Yeah.
And welcome everybody to today's webinar. We're excited to have you. Give me a second and I'll share my screen. I don't have a lot of slides to talk about. We'll cover them briefly, and I just wanted to cover, the Startup Studio initiative, the concept, and who we are at FWD Insurance. FWD Group, we're a pan-Asian insurance company. We're present throughout 10 markets and countries across Asia. This includes obviously Malaysia, but we're also present throughout most of Southeast Asia, Japan, Hong Kong, and the Philippines as well. These are just some of the statistics, but we have over 10 million customers across Asia. We're a relatively new company. This is our 10th year of operations, and there's a big push, right, in terms of changing the way that people feel about insurance. That's our vision. And there's a lot of demand internally. There's a lot of initiatives internally to try new things, to change the way that we operate, and try and do things a little bit differently from the way that insurance has traditionally been operating around the world. Some of our key objectives, as I said before, our vision is about changing the way people feel about insurance. We want to make products easier and simpler to understand for the customers. We want the customer experience to be simpler, more seamless, from the purchase journey throughout claim servicing, for example. We want to have a flexible organization, right, with disciplined execution. And what you will see, the outcome of a lot of these initiatives is that the customer experience has a very strong focus. It's all about being customer-led. We are big in the digital space. A lot of the work that we do is with an eye towards future technology, future products, future ways of working. And that's a large reason why we started the Startup Studio initiative, which I'll cover in a little bit more. But the main idea behind this is that we fully believe, right, about in our vision of changing the way that people feel about insurance. And if you boil it down to the basics, that's what the startup ecosystem is doing. Each of you in this space is about changing the way that people have traditionally viewed fintech industry, the insurtech industry, and every other industry, right? And our objective behind Startup Studio is about collaborating with the startups, understanding new ways of working, and potentially collaborating you as well as investing into you. So Startup Studio, it started here in Malaysia in 2021, about 2.5 years ago. And we have two main tracks here. The first is a pre-accelerator that we ran in 2021. In 2022, we ran 4 cohorts to identify and groom high potential startups. We also published Insurtech opportunity reports in 21 and last year. And we had a number of events, workshops, collaborations to be able to develop the ecosystem, the startup ecosystem. In parallel with that, we have set up a venture capital fund, Tim Ventures. This went operational in November last year. And the objective here is to identify and invest into late seed, Series A, Insurtech, and FinTech companies with the goal of, again, identifying startups that have great potential to support our businesses, grow them, and if they want to expand, we have a ready-made network across, as I said, 10 different countries and markets across Asia. A little bit more about the Startup Studio. You will see some of the names of the startups that participated. Some of you are also present in today's webinar. It's really about identifying startups. The original focus in 2021 and 2022 was largely focused in Malaysia, and we've pivoted since in 2023 towards cohort 5 and what we call phase 2, where we're expanding our reach outside of Malaysia. We're looking for startups who are a little bit beyond just an ideation stage. We pivoted from a pre-accelerator to a full accelerator, and even slightly beyond that. And I just want to highlight, if some of you have been in, or some of you have experience with, or have been in previous cohorts of Startup Studio, the format this year is a little bit different. There is a lot more focus on identifying startups, organizations which already have ready-made products. And it's about making sure that there's already a ready-made fit, ability to collaborate with us via FWD Takaful, for example, or our new company in Malaysia, FWD Life, that sells conventional insurance. It's about not so much about the traditional, classroom learning, having a curriculum in your traditional accelerators and pre-accelerators. It's more about identifying the best startups that fit our problem statements, working together with them in order to operationalize, test the proof of concept, and hopefully be able to implement them fully. Now, Solon from 1337 will also have a couple of things to share with you, after which we have a question and answer session. Solon?
Sure. Would you like me to start now, Mark?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, sure. Hi, everyone. I think I've spoken to many of you already in the last few days. Let me just share some slides. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a bit about the program. So you've heard from Mark about FWD's innovation direction and the previous cohorts. So yeah, I think Mark has already mentioned this point, but I just want to mention it again. This accelerator is quite different from the previous pre-accelerators. The previous pre-accelerators is where people came to us with an idea. They had no business knowledge, usually little business knowledge, and they were put through a curriculum in which they developed the idea into a business, and then the business was investable, right? So in this accelerator, it is more for later stage startups, even businesses, who want to collaborate with FWD. Many of them have ready products, ready solutions, and it's a matter of tailoring them or applying them to FWD. So I've met with quite a few of you all in the last few days, and it's about ensuring that FWD meets its objectives, and objectives are in terms of a problem statement. And our job at 1337, which is a partner of FWD in running this accelerator, our job is basically to ensure two things. Number one is we ensure that you get access to the right people, and number two is that we expedite things. We push things along to make sure it happens fast. So it's a time-limited program. It's an 8-week. The POC design, the proof of concept design, is an 8-week period. In this 8-week period, all the meetings will be attended by 1337 Ventures. We will get you the right people to speak to, and then move things along. We will take notes. We'll get the next meeting and the next meeting and the next meeting until you've completed your POC design, and then you can then go on to implement it with FWD. So let me just talk a bit about the problem statements, because I know you are curious about that. Jui, can you please put the next slide? Okay, we have 6 problem statements. These 6 problem statements have been identified by the Takaful business as being important to them. And the purpose of the accelerator is basically to source businesses to address these problems, right? So let's start with the first one. The first one is called growth partnerships. And it reads, how might we explore partnerships or avenues to gain access to existing customer base, allowing us to expand our reach and serve a wider audience effectively? So this is about how FWD can form partnerships to grow their business, right? So just to give you, just to make up an example, let's say you're a lifestyle app with hundreds of thousands of users. Maybe FWD can form a collaboration with you where you have some kind of referrals agreement with them, where you promote or you package some of their products with some of your products and promote it on your platform, and in that way drive business for FWD, as well as share in the benefits of that new business law. So that's the first problem statement. Going on to the second problem statement. Agree? Yes. So the second one is on customer experience. So this one reads, how might we reduce friction for customers during the onboarding process and improve their buying experience by streamlining and simplifying the steps required to purchase insurance products? So what comes to mind? Let me think. Improving the buying experience. So reducing friction. Okay, nothing comes to mind at the moment for this one. Let's go on to the next one. But basically anything to improve onboarding, improving the buying experience, simplifying the steps required to purchase insurance. Okay, maybe an example for this one would be insurance aggregators. If you're an aggregator, promoting FWD's products will simplify. If you have an avenue for them to purchase it on your system and simplify the process for purchasing it, that's an option. Maybe you go on to the next one. Product education. So for this one, for example, so this one reads, how might we use personalized approaches and health data integration to educate customers about insurance products during the onboarding process, ensuring that they make informed decisions based on their unique needs. So let's say you're a health platform, and you conduct a survey on a person's health, and you say you find out that they have high cholesterol. Then that would be a good opportunity for FWD to promote their critical illness package. So basically, that's what. So it's a personalized approach, and it enables them to make informed decisions based on their unique needs. There's a unique need that they have, and they can make an informed decision by us promoting that product to them, the right product to them. So that's the third problem statement. Let's go on to the fourth. So the fourth is about increasing lifetime value. It's about how might we strategically upsell or cross-sell relevant insurance products to existing customers, providing them with comprehensive coverage while increasing customer loyalty. So an example for this one is basically an example of this one is loyalty and rewards. Let's say you have a loyalty program or a rewards program, then that could potentially be a way to upsell or cross-sell products to them. To the customers. And next one, please. Financial inclusion. So this one is specifically about payments methods. So recurring payments, especially to cater to the needs of underserved segment during onboarding process and subsequently enhancing the accessibility to insurance products. So for this one, an example might be, say, a gig platform where we have or maybe any sort of B40 platform where they're making regular payments of some sort, and you can channel some of that payments into their insurance payments through the platform, and basically in that way, enhance their accessibility to insurance products. Maybe if there's a system where like village heads collect money from you and they deposit it because you're unbanked. That's another example. Any sort of financial inclusion program system that will make it easier to collect payments from underserved segments, right? And the last one. So the last one is on process optimization, and this one is specifically about the claims process, right? How might we optimize and expedite the claims process to enhance customer satisfaction and ensure a smooth and efficient experience when customers need to make a claim? So an obvious example is claims management platforms. Other things could include claims documentation, anything to do with claims, maybe an AI chatbot where you can talk to FWD about making a claim via AI chatbot. Anything that is improving the claims process to enhance customer satisfaction and a smooth and efficient experience. So it's basically about CX in the claims process. So yeah, that is the 6 problem statements. So as I mentioned again, some of you earlier stage, like, sorry, there's a question here about seed stage and above, right? So seed stage, basically it's the requirement for this program is that the startups or the businesses participating in this program must be funded by VC funded, basically. So it has to be VC funded at a seed stage and above. That's the requirement. A lot of the startups we have spoken with and have put in the applications are actually at a much later stage. Some of them Series B, Series C, some of them are even listed companies. And that's fine. It's just that it's more about what they have to offer. So if what they have to offer meets the problems that are stated in as the solution is tailored to the problems that are stated. Some other additional information is FWD doesn't want to make any changes, any significant changes to its platform because it's a digital platform that's been designed for its own purpose. So it has to be something modular that can be plugged in if it's a system, and it has to be something bite-sized, low-hanging fruit that they can apply very quickly and realize the benefits from it easily. So it has to start basic as a proof of concept, and then later in the coming years, you can try to build on it. But FWD will not make changes, significant changes to their systems. It has to be something that's plugged in. So that's what comes to mind. And the next slide, please. So I just want to talk a bit about the program. So I think many of you have already put in your form. If not, the form is on the web page. If Jui, you could share the web page address. The form is on that web page, and basically after the form is put in, we will conduct a half-an-hour interview with you. Marc, who just spoke to you, will be on the interview, as well as some 1337 members. And basically, after that interview, if you are selected to participate in the program, there will be a 3-week period known as office hours. Office hours is where we book time of senior people in FWD, like maybe 3 hours with compliance, 3 hours with marketing, 3 hours with head of life, 3 hours with head of medical, and so on. And you have the opportunity to book a slot with them, say a half-an-hour slot with them, and you can get some of your pressing questions answered. So your pressing questions could be, this is what we have in mind for the collaboration. Do you think it's feasible, or do you think we need to shape it in some way or form? And basically co-create a model for a successful partnership in that office hours. At the end of the office hours, basically you will be pitch ready, and then we will have a short pitch, 5-10 minute pitch, in which you will convince senior leaders in FWD why you should go into the proof of concept design. And then the proof of concept design will be a 8-week period. In that 8-week period, we will get you as many or as few meetings as you want with the right people. So it's really directed by you, who you want to meet, and then we get the meeting. So for example, if you start by saying that you want to do a referrals partnership for your lifestyle app, right? So the first question you have to ask is, what product? So you might have to meet with, say, life insurance, and you say, then life insurance says, yeah, this is a great product, but we are concerned about compliance. Can you refer business to us when you're not an agency, for example, just to give an example? So you'll have to meet with compliance. So we will then get you a meeting with compliance, and so on and so forth. So you go through a period in 8 weeks where you get a series of meetings in which you refine your proof of concept. And at the end of the 8 weeks, hopefully, you would have designed your proof of concept, and then you can go on. And after that is basically, you will demo the proof of concept. That means you will get senior leaders, senior management, and basically you'll show them, hey, this is what we've designed and this is what we're going to go ahead with. And then that'd be an opportunity for them to, if you really get their buy-in, then they will support you throughout the whole process. of executing your POC. So let's say, for example, you talk about that referrals for a lifestyle app, right? So let's say we decide that you want to run it for 6 months and see how it goes. Then what you'll do is you'll identify what success looks like, and then basically you will run the POC, and then at the end of the POC, if the success criteria has been met, you will be incorporated into business as usual, and then your collaboration is sealed, right? So that is actually how the program works. So the in a nutshell, your commitment at the moment is basically 10 minutes to fill out the form and half an hour to do the interview. And if you're selected, then basically meetings will be secured for you as many or as few as you like. And basically the objective is for us to work together to develop that proof of concept. So what we'll be trying to ensure is that you are committed to a positive outcome, and likewise we are committed to a positive outcome. And then it's just basically running the program. So if you haven't put in your form already, please put in your form. No, yeah, I think we'll just go into Q&A now. So if you have any questions on FWD and its direction for innovation, please raise them, and Marc will address them. And if you have any questions about the program, I'm happy to address them as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
So at the end of the program, after a demo day, if we decide to proceed with you, yes, there will be a commercial agreement outlining the scope of the collaboration and the next steps and so on.
Yeah, it will depend on the nature of the collaboration, right? So if it's a referrals partnership, then it's a referrals agreement. If it's a sort of like a system, introducing a system, then it's some other sort of engagement, kind of an agreement. So it really depends. But definitely, if you're entering into a collaboration, there must be some kind of legal agreement to make sure that everyone's risk and rewards are covered. Okay, we have another question. When does week 1 start? So we will complete applications and interviews by the 30th of August. And then the actual program week 1 starts in September. So the question is, will this be a paid POC? Marc, you want to take that, or shall I take that?
Yes, the POC, it will be on a commercial basis. If there's a cost involved, that's something that we can discuss over the course of the office hours already. Right? We would like to get an indication as well. That being said, it's not the expectation that this is going to be a huge amount of budget. It's about being able to demonstrate that the hypothesis works and an idea works in collaboration with FWD. Again, we can talk about this more during the office hours.
Yeah. So by definition, a POC does not mean that it's not a commercial arrangement. It just means that you start with something basic. So you're proving that the concept works. You start with something basic, bite-sized, low-hanging fruit, and then as you go on, you will increase the add to it in the future. So POC just means that start with something basic, and you have certain metrics to qualify and to go on, and then basically if you meet them, then you go on to the next stage. So next question is FWD also looking for solution targeted for FWD distribution channel agencies and agents?
Yes, is the answer to that. Right. If there is a potential to improve the way that we distribute our products, happy to look at it as well.
Okay. Yeah, we talk about buying experience as one of them. So it's definitely relevant to buying experience. We talk about personalization, upselling, cross-selling. So these are things where, for example, if you have customer relationship management software for agencies, that could be something that's interesting. Yeah.
Hi, Maran. Yes. The whole and to just echo what Solan has said, we already have a fairly stable underlying platform and tech stack at FWD. Getting any changes to that would be very, very difficult. And there's also a lot of the compliance and regulatory requirements that we need to take into considerations that will make doing a POC that affects our underlying systems extremely difficult. We would prefer a plug and play or a modular concept. That being said, if it's about testing with a limited audience, it's about testing a limited audience with the view of the initial POC likely being conducted on your platform. That being said, if it's targeted at scaling, there should be a view towards fully integrating it within FWD at some point.
All right, so I guess that will be all for today's webinar. So before we end, thanks everyone for your questions, and I hope that definitely you can gain better clarities on FWD Group, and also at the same time about the program by Solon. Yep. So before we end, we would like to extend our gratitude and appreciation to Marc and Solon, and definitely each of you here being part of this webinar to talk about the innovations of insurance inside in FWD insurance, and definitely also mainly about the program by sharing a lot of info and so through the Q&A sessions. All right, so we will look forward to meet again in the future's event where we hope that if you are interested to know more about the program, definitely Solon will leave his email address and also the phone numbers, so definitely you can extend the conversation from there. All right, so yep, so we hope that the webinar today can help you to spark new ideas and also encourage you to join in the program and to be part of the force to embrace the transformative potential of insurance and agri-food industry. All right, so thank you and have a nice day ahead. Yep, see you.
Bye,
See
everyone.
you soon. Hope to see you all in the next couple of weeks. Thanks for coming.